Oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no. My life is ruined. I'm up to my ears in tax debt, but due to my severe addiction for buying feminist literature and supporting black-owned businesses, I don't have any money. What am I gonna do? Oh, don't panic, don't panic. Don't panic. I hired a tax accountant. He said he knows what he's doing. He's gonna get me out of this. It's gonna be fine. I'm in good hands. He's a professional. I'm gonna be okay.
Mike Fidelli from Fidelli & Associates. I'm here in South Beach. We're here to fix IRS problems for high net worth athletes and entertainers who have serious IRS problems. If you have any problems or you want a new tax accountant, DM me and we'll get you solved, get everything fixed, and we'll get you on the right path.
Oh no, I'm gonna go to jail. If you're wondering who the man dressed like an extra in a Team 10 music video is that you just saw on your screen, that is Mike Fidelli, and believe it or not, he is an accountant, as far as I can tell.
This is Mike Fidelli for Fidelli & Associates. We're here in South Beach. We're here to provide services for income tax and IRS problems to high net worth athletes and entertainers who have many serious IRS problems. If you do, DM me and we'll get you out all your problems.
But more importantly than that, he is an alpha male. You can tell that not only because he has it in all caps in his Instagram bio, the sign of a true alpha, but also because of the expensive amalgamation of flesh and silicone sitting next to him. The fact that she doesn't seem to be capable of moving her face is freaking me out a little bit. Maybe the uncanny valley is just an instinctual biological fear of Miami hoes. Now, his main thing is that he's an accountant. According to his Instagram bio, he has saved his clients over $2.2 billion in taxes and IRS debt, which does seem like an insanely high number. However, according to his website, it's only 300 million, which is a lot less than 2.2 billion. I'm not really sure how you get that mixed up. However, you'd be forgiven for missing that little tidbit of information because it is massively overshadowed by the selfie he has of himself on the homepage of his website. But not only is the only picture of himself on his website a selfie, I mean, what, you bought too many Supreme shirts and couldn't afford a couple professional headshots? But he's also clearly trying to look sexy. That's disgusting. Stop trying to look sexy. You're 64. He's 64, by the way. I don't know if I mentioned that. He's 64. This guy was pushing 40 when 9/11 happened. He vividly remembers 9/11. Stop trying to look sexy. And you can tell he really thinks he looks good in this picture because he uses it for everything. Not only is it on his website multiple times, but it's his Instagram profile picture. And he even has it on a billboard. It's like he was watching Breaking Bad and saw a Better Call Saul billboard and thought to himself, how can I make that look even more sketchy? Now, Mike is interesting because of all the wacky people I've covered on this channel, Mike might be the least self-aware person I've covered yet. I swear, this guy for real thinks he's like a cool and sexy alpha male influencer. Look at the way he dresses. Like, who wears lifting gloves to a restaurant? And that's not even mentioning his hair, which does seem to be a real point of pride for him, because he gets a lot of comments of people obviously making fun of his hair, and he gets really pressed about it. He has made multiple videos at this point challenging people to bet on if his hair is real or not.
For $1 million, I'll cut my hair off. My 1 million to your 1 million. And I'll grow it back every week so you can see if it's fake or real. Whoever wins keeps the million. Capiche?
Dude, I promise you, no one cares that much about your hair, okay? This video has 87 likes. Who do you think is putting down $1 million on your stupid haircut? Now, Mike does get a lot of hate. Unfortunately, I couldn't see why, but it's okay because he's handling it like a champ.
Fuck all you Gen Z haters. You fucking living in your mother's basement, playing monsters and aliens, eating Cheetos and donuts. Fuck yous all. I don't give a fuck what you think of me. What matters is what I think about myself and what you think about yourself. But I don't give a flying fuck what you think about me.
As a Gen Z hater, I have to say that I think Mike's words here were very uncalled for and, you know, quite frankly, they were hurtful. Although, you know, for someone who obviously doesn't care, he does sound very close to crying.
Fuck yous all. I don't give a fuck what you think of me.
When someone gets this upset at being bullied by people a third their age, that's when you know that they don't give a flipping heck about the haters. Now, like any high-value alpha male, Mike Fideli is always surrounded by women that he pays.
I'm with Maciel. She is an employee of Fideli Associates.
Yes, I'm sure she was a great hire for his accounting business, a real asset.
I have no problem with women being gold diggers. It is in their DNA. They are wired, they are hardwired because they have to take care of their children, they have to take care of everything. Men, they gotta pony up. If you want the woman that you like and she's sexy and she's hot, you gotta come up with money.
That's such an obvious cope. Yeah, so women don't really tolerate me unless I pay them. But, you know, they can't help it, it's in their DNA. If anything, it goes to show how much of a high-value alpha male I am. Wow, Mike, it's so cool the way you're old and weird and women don't want to be around you unless they get something of monetary value out of you. I want to be just like you someday. Now you can tell he really wants to be like, you know, Andrew Tate or Luke Belmar, you know? These types of guys who have a following for their poignant social commentary and life advice.
That night, sipping the fucking Johnny Walker in the war room by myself with him, chilling.
However, Mike's problem is that he is irrelevant and no one looks up to him. So instead, he takes matters into his own hands and sets up these fake interviews where he gets his employees to give him questions to answer.
What are you most looking forward to in building your empire here in Miami?
First of all, I want to save people from the IRS. I want to reduce their taxable income. I want to keep money in their pocket. I want to make money for them. I want them to live a great life. And I want my people to make a lot of money and basically save my clients' lives.
I've seen video game characters with a more natural looking idle animation than this guy. And you know, it would be one thing if he did this to give financial or tax advice, considering, you know, he is an accountant. But alas, that's not the case.
If you like gambling, you gotta learn how to beat the house. To beat the house, you gotta be smarter than the house. To be smarter than the house, you gotta sit at the slot machines, you gotta learn the AI of the slot machines, and then you will beat the house.
Okay, so maybe he doesn't understand how slot machines work, which isn't even a particularly difficult thing to understand, but you know, whatever. But you know, he is an old man, so maybe he's got some good life advice at least.
Every fucking man in the United States needs to stop having sex for 1 year.
How do you straighten a woman out?
You gotta shut OnlyFans down by getting men off of it. The only way to get men off of it, we have to have a nationwide moratorium on intercourse and sex. You gotta stop it for 1 year. Every fucking man in the United States needs to stop having sex for 1 year. And it's gonna fix everything.
I agree.
This problem.
I agree with that.
1 year. 1 year. Every fucking man in this.
I would just like to say, in case there's any confusion, that I got that video straight from his Instagram account. That is not some meta-ironic meme someone made of him. He posted a video of himself with the What's a Father laser eyes on his own. Why would he do that? I have no idea. I guess he must think it's cool. No, Mike, please. You have to stop, Mike. You have to stop your aura. Your aura is too powerful. I can't handle any more. You've got too much swag. Mike, you've got too much swag. You're cool, Mike. You're awesome. You're so epic. The way he threw his microphone on the table like that, that was so tough. That was so tough, twin. You're so nonchalant, Mike. You're so nonchalant. That's how you know he's an alpha male. Another way to tell that he is an alpha male is by the incoherent and quite frankly retarded social commentary, I guess, if that's what you'd call it. But in case it needs to be said, I don't think the reason that you have so many guys paying for OnlyFans is because they're having too much sex. You know? And you've got to love the shot at the end of all the Instagram models, let's call them that, sitting there, clearly regretting their life choices, wishing their dad never left the family, clearly not even paying attention to what he's saying, being like, huh, what? Yeah, no, dude, for sure, what? I definitely, facts, whatever he's saying, totally agree, what? On the money, this guy. But then there's another common theme with his posts that I haven't really talked about, and I think the best thing to do is just show you.
You don't know anything about Haiti. They don't have mothers and fathers and school and clothes. Problem none. Say, I'm Pichimunio Pagia rap. I'm Pichimunio Pagia Mama, Pagia Papa, Papa et Mama Muri, Pagia Manger, Pagia L'école, Pagia Remède. You're an American. Ou c'est un American. Problem none. C'est pas voodoo. The problem is not voodoo.
Yeah, so apparently he also speaks Haitian Creole. He has like a thing for Haiti. He's actually been involved in doing non-profit work in Haiti going back almost 20 years, as is evident by an old YouTube channel of his. And you know, obviously I'm not gonna rag on him for that. Like, you know, if he's helping people in need in Haiti, like, I'm not making fun of him for that or anything. But without that context, which I didn't have at first, coming across that video of him ranting about Haiti and Creole, just like out of the blue, out of nowhere, was really bizarre. It just adds to how all over the place his posts are. I mean, this guy, he literally has one about brushing his teeth. Aren't you supposed to be an accountant? How did we get here? And it seems like he's trolling, right? Like you see something like that and you go, surely this is all just satire. But I'm telling you, other than how bizarre all of it is, there is no indication that any of this is a bit. This guy is 100% deadass. And I guess it makes sense that he has a thing for the Caribbean. It is notorious for people moving there for tax reasons, among other things. With him not only having a real heart for Haiti, I guess, but also seemingly living part-time in the Dominican Republic, where he owns a club.
I will be back in Boca Chica because I own a club there.
Because of course he does. Keep in mind, this man is pushing 70. Stop trying to be cool. If you're in your mid-60s and you're still trying this hard to be cool, give up. You're not cool. Getting cornrows isn't gonna fix that. I get the impression he's trying to do a similar thing that the Liver King did, where he comes out of nowhere with a ton of content for social media, trying to grow a substantial following. I mean, Mike's only been putting out content on his Instagram for like 3 months. But unlike the Liver King, who invested in a whole production team, Mike Fideli's content sucks.
Wait, Mike, what happens if you don't file your taxes?
You're going to get a wage levy or a bank levy, and that's going to come through, and they're just going to take your money.
And why?
Yep. So you got to file your tax returns with a local agent, file the returns, do a payment plan so they get out of those levies.
Okay, thank you so much.
I mean, I'm no expert, but maybe scale down on the hookers slightly and buy a proper microphone.
But what the hell, boy?
Now, I can't really rate his tax advice. He definitely knows more about it than I do, with him being, you know, a CPA and me not being one. But it does seem like one of the main points of this whole social media campaign of his is to sell his services as an accountant. But he does kind of ruin all of that with all the posts trying to show off what a sick alpha male he is. Because I feel like accountants are supposed to be kind of boring for good reason. Because in what world would you see this guy and be like, yeah, of all the available options, I'm gonna pick this guy to make sure I don't end up in jail for tax evasion? Which does beg the question that I'm sure we're all thinking, if I had to choose between Mike Fideli and Jeffrey Epstein for tax advice, who would I choose? Tough question, because, you know, on the one hand, Mike is more qualified than Jeffrey Epstein, who had no formal qualifications as an accountant or tax attorney, but was still paid hundreds of millions of dollars for tax services. Weird. But then again, Mike does seem to really objectify women, and I just don't know if I could be okay hiring someone who treats women badly. Like, I just think for me personally, you know, I just wouldn't want to associate with someone like that, you know? Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it was enlightening. I hope it broadened your horizons as a person. Like, subscribe, or don't, whatever you want to do. Until next time, bye.